the fire department come for Fire Safety Month to teach students about fire safety. We also have during Dental Month, which is this coming February, we have a dental hygienist that comes out and speaks to the kids about important dental hygiene. We include muffins with moms and donuts with dad. We find that when we get the parents to be participating within school activities, it builds that relationship between school and home. We build that bridge, and then that child is even more excited to come to school and share all those great accomplishments that they are achieving in school. So we do thrive on all of our activities like trunk or treat. We have them during the school day. We have them after school as well as on weekend events. So as I spoke about a little bit earlier, we have this activity period that's embedded within our school day. Activity period ranges from maybe emotional clubs, social clubs, to academic clubs. We're so excited this year. It's our second year having our students join the Junior Lego League, which is a competitive activity. And this is our first year that we have a fourth grader that attended the UN, not the UN, I apologize, the Geographic Bee. So that was a school-wide activity that took place from fourth grade and into middle school, and now they're going on to compete. We also do our school-wide spelling bee, and our third grade winner is going to the county spelling bee in March, and we're so excited. So we're out here to support our kids, not just socially and emotionally, but as well as academically. As you can see, for social and emotional support, we have board game club, arts and crafts, origami club, and these are all a variety of different ways that students can showcase what their talents are and show us their abilities in a multitude of ways. We've also, this is our second year, including our Gifted and Talented program. This year it is a school-wide program where students are tested in for Gifted and Talented. We are very excited, so now students have an ability to showcase their gifts and their talents during the school day, where they're pulled during the activity and provided that support during that day. As we know, our teachers work so very hard to provide all of these needs for our students, because just like you and me, we are different, and as well as our children. And our children all learn differently. We challenge them at a different level based on the assessments that we are gathering, if it is during classroom assessments or if they are state assessments. We want to make sure that we are reaching the needs of all learners, because they all are learning in their own unique way. So here are some next steps. I know some were asking about some important dates that we need to just keep in mind. So on March 1st, we have the deadline to submit your application. So if you haven't already, please submit your application. The deadline is March 1st. On March 14th, we were talking a little bit about the lottery. Again, the lottery is open to the entire public, and that will be March 14th, and that's just for the elementary lottery. If you also have an upper grade student, that's going to be on a separate day. Between March 25th and March 18th, that's when, if you were selected through that random lottery process, you have from March 25th to March 18th to submit that paperwork. After March 18th, we will then open it back up for people that did not submit their paperwork for waitlist students. All the documents will be submitted for registration, is all posted on our school website. And now we're going to go into some frequently asked questions. So as we have begun, we are not a tuition-free school. We are a public school, and just like any public school, you do not have to pay for your child to attend this school. So do we give any types of enrollment preferences? So as I discussed in the beginning, we have 3 sending districts, and those 3 sending districts will have priority from the other districts. So that's Franklin Township, New Brunswick, and North Brunswick. So if you live in one of those 3 districts, you have priority then from someone then, let's say, that lives in Hillsborough or Piscataway. Anyone in New Jersey is welcome to apply, but we have 2 separate pools for those reasons.
To interject something here, like Susan said, any student who lives in New Jersey is eligible to apply. By the state law, charter schools have to give preference to students who reside in their defined attendance zone. And back in 2006, and the founding team of the charter school included only 3 districts, which is very generous, by the way. Typically, it's just 1 district. And the townships that are included in our attendance zone is New Brunswick, North Brunswick, and Franklin Township. Susan briefly touched upon the ladder process. I think it's the next slide. And the way that we give preference is that we're going to have 2 separate pools. One pool is going to include those 3 districts, and the other pool will include every other district. And by the state law, we have to fill all the available spaces with students coming from the attendance zone first. If there are still available seats, then in that case, we go to the second pool. Then we start inviting students from the second pool. That's how it works. Let's move on.
So we do have uniforms for our students to wear. There are 2 main reasons we have uniforms, and one is to promote unity throughout our school, as well as for safety. The uniform is also, you can see on the school website. Our school hours, as we briefly discussed, is from 7:50, so that's when instructional time begins. We do open our doors at 7:30, but instructional time begins at 7:50, and students are dismissed at 3:21. We follow a very similar calendar to Franklin Public School, their academic calendar, based on when schools open and holidays and etc. So the district is the one that provides the transportation. So if you live in Franklin Department of Transportation will be providing the busing, as well as New Brunswick. If you live in New Brunswick Transportation Department of Transportation will provide busing for your child, and the same with North Brunswick. So if you live in those 3 districts, the Department of Transportation will be providing busing for your child. Just make sure if you are interested in busing that you fill out the transportation form and is submitted so that the Department of Transportation can then schedule a bus stop for you. So as we talked about a little bit earlier, we do provide a breakfast and lunch for all students. Breakfast and lunch is optional. The student can bring their own breakfast to school if, let's say, they're running late, or they can also purchase breakfast at school. And the same with lunch. We provide a hot lunch for all students, but if students want to bring their own lunch, they are more than welcome to as well. If a child qualifies for free or reduced lunch, that is also applicable for our school too. So how can you increase your possibility for your child to attend? So if you qualify for free or reduced lunch, Section 8, SNAP assistance, these are all different ways to help you with your chance of attending CJCP. However, you have to provide documentation by March 1st in order to qualify.
Interject again, and this is an important part of the presentation. I'd like to give some clarification at this point. St. Joseph College Prep implements a weighted ladder. It's a technical term, but I'll explain. Weighted ladder means that the school is able to give more weight to a particular group of students. Meaning, or in our case, any student who lives in poor, if the family's income is low, under particular threshold. And these are the means of documenting the level of income of the family. Then the student's name is placed in the lottery twice rather than just once. If the family lives in a Section 8 home, or if the family receives some kind of government assistance, food stamp type of stuff, or if the child qualifies for free reduced lunch, we're going to need documentation by March 1st to document any of these categories. Then in that case, the child's name will be placed in the lottery twice rather than just once. So that's due to the mission of the school. We would like to educate more students coming from low-income families. And this year, we petitioned to the State Department once again. We're hoping that we'll get the approval by March 1st. We want to increase the ratio to 3-to-1 rather than 2-to-1. If approved, those students who are coming from low-income families will have their names placed 3 times in the lottery pool rather than just once. We also included English language learners in the weighted lottery. If we have a new immigrant family, if the child has a language barrier, does have a difficulty speaking and understanding English language,